In this video, we're going to use Google Data Studio to create quite a simple but fun data visualization on the music revenue across different formats right from 1973 to 2019. So what you'll want to do is load up datastudio.google.com and you'll come to a page that looks a little bit like this. And to get started, let's click on blank report. And it should show you something like this. What I like about Data Studio is that you can quickly connect different types of data sources, your analytics, Google Ads, Google Sheets. In this example, we'll be using a CSV file that I have, and it looks a little bit like this. Over here, I've got a whole bunch of data, from year, format, subgroup, physical or digital, because we had a lot of physical types of music, back in the year, CDs, cassettes, vinyls, a split of types of revenue in billions and the total revenue in billions. So you can download this CSV file. It's all in the zip folder that's in the link. So once you have that, click on File Upload on your Data Studio and click to upload file, and you'll see something here that says music revenue data. That's the CSV file that you need to upload, and let's see what happens. Over here it says uploading and processing. It takes maybe a few seconds depending on your file size. This is a really small file, so it shouldn't take too long. And okay, we're good to go. It says uploaded, and let's add. Okay, add to report. Okay, this shows that we have successfully connected our data to this dashboard. Now let's make a couple of changes to set things up nicely. Over here it says Untitled Report. I'm going to change it to Music Revenue Visualization. And maybe I might make a couple of changes to the layout. You can just click on layout over here. Just click anywhere on this empty space, you'll find this. Click on layout, and I want to make it a little bit wider, maybe a 16 by 9 landscape. So it's a bit wider, looks quite nice. Perhaps change the theme a little bit. They've got lots of pre-made themes, so you could use this. Maybe go for a dark one. Okay, now we're kind of all set up. Let's begin to visualize this data. This is what Google Data Studio would usually put out automatically. We can see that there's format, there's record count. But before we jump right into that, let's make sure that Google Data Studio has understood our data correctly. And to do that, let's look on the left here. We've got data source, and with this sort of pencil mark that allows you to edit your data. Let's click on that. So this is what Google Data Studio has understood from the file that we uploaded. Now a couple of things. Over here under total revenue in billions, it says number, which is correct, but I want to be a little bit more specific. So if you click on this, it actually gives you the option of making it into a currency. Now I downloaded this from a site in the US, so that's where the data set is from. So the denominations are in US dollars, so I'm going to click on US dollar. And the second thing is for the year, I want to make sure that it doesn't show the month and the full date. I just want to see year, so I'm going to click on year and make sure that it shows just year. So I'm going to click on this. So I think that should be okay for now. Let's have a look. Data Studio automatically adds record count. It's just the number of counts of the record, which we don't need, so I'm going to remove that. What I want to see is total revenue. So I'm going to pull total revenue into metric right here, and it will turn blue. And I can see, yep, there's something happening. I can move these things around. Lots of different things. However, something's missing. We don't have the year, so I'm going to drag year above format. Okay, now we are beginning to get somewhere. We've got year, format, uh, but I would like to do it by year. So I'd like to sort it by year, and you can do that by scrolling down. And over here, it's sorted by record count, which we are not using. So click on record count, and it will give you a bunch of options. And we want to sort it by year and ascending. So from 1973 to 2019. Okay, so this looks quite right. We've got, I can drag and make it bigger. We've got year 1973 to 1979 on page 1, the formats, and the total revenue. So this is quite nicely set up, but this looks just like an Excel spreadsheet. We want to be able to tell a better story and visualize it much easier. So let's change the style, the type of table we're using. So at the top, there's this drop down here where it says table. I'm going to click on that, and I would like to choose a line chart, so it will have multiple lines. You can experiment with different types, depends on the type of story you want to tell. For this, I would prefer to use line chart, so let's click on that. So this looks fine, except that it's flipped. It's from 2019 to 1973. I just need to double check that the sorting is done correctly. So under sort, I would want to choose ascending again. Okay. This looks quite nice now. We are able to tell a bit of a story. I can see that vinyl, which is this color, was quite popular. There was this thing called 8-track, which I've never used. Cassettes from 1973 took over vinyls because they were smaller. However, in the sort of late 80s, early 90s, compact discs began overtaking cassettes, which led to the downfall of cassettes. I remember owning a Discman as well a long time ago. However, something happened just after the year 2000 that caused a massive, massive decline in the compact disc industry and the overall physical music industry. And that was because devices such as the iPod were released. There was Napster, there was things like LimeWire, there was lots of piracy going on, and I mean both legal and illegal downloading. So to give a bit of context, to visualize it a bit better, I would like to add a picture of the iPod somewhere here. What you can do is up here, you can choose an image and upload it from the computer. This will be in the folder that you can download, and you can see there's this thing called iPod. So I can drag, change it, and maybe put it somewhere here. It looks okay, but somehow this white and black doesn't really go. This is when I can begin to style my chart a bit. So I can click on this, I can click on style, and I can actually begin to change the colors as well. So if you ever want to sort of beautify or change the colors, you can. I can change, for example, the background color. I can change it to white. But that obviously means I'd have to change lots of things. So for this, I'm just going to click undo. And that's a great thing about Data Studio. If you make a mistake, there's an undo button and you can just go back. So let's just keep it from here. And if I wanted to filter, like add a filter, for example, filter by format, because there's so much data. You can even add a control. So click control, and I would like to add a drop down list where I can choose the different formats. So I can click, just drag, and there you have it. I can choose the format. So if I click on view, this is what your data visualization looks like. I can see where compact discs were peaking, $20 million of revenue in 1999, and it rapidly dropped after the iPod was released, and download and streaming started taking over. But it was only after 2015 that streaming actually began to make a big impact around the world. And yeah, that's, I think, going to be the future of music. And if I wanted to click by format, I can, and you can try that out and experiment. So that's under 10 minutes a short visualization that I hope